Okay, so my Sunblin Xenon projectors have arrived. So basically, let's open up the box, see how the product looks. So these are 2.5 inch lens size with a shroud. The shroud is supposed to be looking like the BMW design. The reason I ordered this is I wanted a specific look to my Aprillia, as well as because the Xenon as a projector, it will focus the lens, the light that's there being produced much better on the road. Okay, so typically I was expecting the boxes to be slightly better. Slightly bigger, but these boxes are quite compact. So this I don't know, some kind of a lizard symbol that these guys have given. It's a 3D etched logo. I think you can stick it on the back of your car or something. But it's a good gesture they're giving as a gift, but doesn't help me at all. So these are the HID projectors that I've ordered, and it's supposed to be a plug and play. I hope since it's 2.5 inch, it just directly fits into my Doom. But until I open up and try it out, I won't know. Anyway, looking at the box and the what all they've written over here, seems like the quality of this projector should be quite good. Yeah, I'm sure it's not going to be, like a Hella or maybe like a Morimoto, but I'm sure it's going to be better than the other Chinese stuff that we get. And I'm just making this guess based on the other reviews that I've seen, as well as the pictures, as well as the box and packing that I'm looking right in front of me. So now I'm going to go ahead open one up. And okay, so just looking at it right away, I know this is not going to fit into my bike. I'm 100% sure it's not going to fit into my bike. It's quite large. So I think until I open it up and see, I won't know whether it's the whole unit that won't fit in, or is it just that the outer angel eye shroud that won't fit in. I just hope I don't have to remove the reflectors, and this will directly fit in without having to remove the reflectors. Okay, so this is the hardware kit. Okay. Surprisingly, in other reviews, it is not fully assembled, but I'm looking over here. In my case, they've sent a fully assembled unit. And I say that, what I mean is that the angel eyes, everything is already wired and assembled. And it is, quality is pretty good. I've seen the other projectors, from other companies, which you get in India, which has the same made in China, but they look really crap. They don't have this quality of fit and finish. They'll have some other small things that are missing. So that's the solenoid. That solenoid is what controls your high and low beam. So this has got that's the devil eye, which I'm showing you on top. This is the wiring for the devil eye. There are 6 screws that need to be removed so that your headlight can come out from the front plastic dome. So those are the 6 ones that I'm pointing out. What you need to do is remove all the 6, and then your headlight is free. You can just pull it out and it will come out. I didn't want to show you guys removing the screws and all that. Okay, now that the whole headlight dome is clean, let's start tearing it down. The first thing that I would do is that I'm taking out the rubber bushes that are there. Then after that, I'm going to remove the headlight bulbs, and then there are small clips that retain the headlight bulbs. I'm going to remove them also. Then the next thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to heat the front lens, and once it's hot enough, I should be able to pull it out. I will be using a heat gun so that I can heat it. Just be careful that when you're heating the front lens, you heat it evenly. Don't even overheat like one particular section and not heat the other section at all. What will happen is then that your plastic dome will start to melt away. So you need to be extremely careful when you do this. If you're not confident in doing what I'm doing here in the video, then you can actually look at other tutorials on how to remove the headlight lens in YouTube, and you can maybe follow what they're showing. Okay, now let's heat the headlight dome so that we can pry out the front lens. That's the Black & Dark heat gun that I'm using. I'm using the lowest heat setting, and as you can see, I've in 10 minutes time pried out the front glass, and that's how it is. I've been very careful making sure that I did not melt any of the edges. I wanted to make sure that I show you that. And you can also see that I've removed all the clips and retainers in the back of the headlight dome. So now my projector can just lock through it. But like I mentioned before, the projector looks too big and I'm sure that it's not going to fit in. Uh, the front is going to struggle getting fit in. The back will slot into that point though quite easily, but I have my own suspicions about the front shroud fitting in. Okay, so I've finally managed to remove the reflector and paint the whole dome black, as you can see. Now I realize that I need to get an earthing wire done because there's no place for me to earth it. So this is how I'm going to earth it. I removed the bulb carriage or the bulb holder socket out. Then what I'm doing is I had these two negative wires. I'm putting them in here and then I'm just tightening it. So when my H1 bulb, this is a halogen bulb that plugs in, what will happen is that it touches to the metal and now I have a earthing line available for me to use. I'm going to plug the bulb in now. Now this is how the retainer fits. So the open ends go into the top. You make sure that the bulb is in its place, it's not moving. Then put the retainer and push it to the left and then you're all done. That's a lock. The bulb will sit nice and tight. You can see how it locks in, right? Now I've used a multimeter and checked. The negative does have continuity. To show you once again before I proceed, I have used the Philips H1 12 volt 55 watt Pure Visions. These are supposed to be 30% brighter than the normal H1s that are there. So I trust Philips. This is a genuine one. I checked this scratch that is there. So I put in that QR code and it is genuine. So as you can see, I've put both the Philips bulbs. I have my negatives wired. Those are my solenoids. So I had two different wires and consolidated them into one. That's my parking. So everything is neatly set. Okay, time to show you my power supply wiring for the relay. So that's how I ran it. Pushed it through this. I removed that screw over there. The next screw, the two screws on the bottom. When I removed it and just pulled it aside, and what happened is it gave me a little access. It just was able to peel it out a little bit, and then I pulled the wire. Once the wire came out, you can see below the bike the red wire. That's how I pulled it, and I've routed it right below the bike, and then I pulled it out from the front that's there, and then I brought it out through the axis which is there in the center. For now, I'm just going to bring it out through this axis and leave it there so that the wire is there up front. Here's my power supply pin. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to clamp it on to the wire. Once it's clamped on, then my wire will be connected to the battery positive. I have clamped and insulated the wire, so I have a pin which can actually go and be bolted on to my positive terminal. So I'm adding a fuse to the main power supply which goes to the relay harness. I'm using a 30 amp fuse. So what I've done is that I've cut the wire in between, added two more female sockets over there, and then I have inserted a fuse. So this is how your final output would look like. You can easily pull the fuse out if you needed to and replace it, and then the main power supply would plug in there. And as you can see, I've tried to keep it as close to a professional wiring as possible when I'm making this. So I removed the blank. Mine is an always on headlight, so I removed the blank and then pulled two wires and kept the socket ready. Unfortunately, the showroom is not giving me the original switch, so I'm using that switch right now. The first red wire goes from the battery to the switch. The second one is from the switch to the relay. This is the main power supply for the relay. So what I've done is that I've removed the original sockets and I've bought an aftermarket socket, so it has all the three beams in it. And the first thing I did is I closed the low beam. The brown wire is the low beam. Closed it off. I don't need it. I've taken the purple and I've wired it to the high beam of the new socket. The negative is again the green of the new socket, and the blue wire is the low beam. Now what I want is that I have to get the low beam connected to the positive of the parking. I'm using the low beam's negative wire for my earthing needs. because I'm unable to earth it at this point or at the point which is there below, because this frame is galvanized and you need to scrape it if you want the earthing to work, which I don't want to do. Okay, so now I'm going to actually tie down the HELA relay. I'm going to mount it, and then I'm going to get the fuses mounted in such a way that we can change the fuse if needed. So I want it to be accessible from this slot, so that if I have to change the fuse, it's very easy and I don't have to remove the whole front. Um, I'm going to stop talking a bit because this is going to need me to use both my hands. So shooting, talking, as well as doing things is going to be difficult for me. Okay, so I've finished mounting the relay with the zip tags. So it's firmly mounted, as you can see. It's right in front of the choke cable that's there. But just be careful that you don't damage the choke cable when you're tightening it, or you don't, stop it from working as it's supposed to work. Okay, so I've put the socket to the relay's input side, and these are the two wires, gray being high beam, and that high beam will control the shutters also, and this is the low beam which will power both the bulbs. So I have gone and fixed the front. I'm using a temporary switch right now, and you can see over here the projectors are all fixed inside, nice and neat. Let me switch it on for you guys and show you how it looks. So I've still retained the function. So when you switch it on, and if the relay switches on, then you'll always have the headlight on and running. That's the beam. It's daytime, so you can't do much. Just see the shadow on the right side wall, so you can see how the light's moving. Yeah, so that's how it is. Because there's no shroud, that's why you can see little excess light leaking all over the room that is there. Anyway, I'm going to be putting the HIDs in another week or so. If I don't like the way the halogens are running, I'm going to put in 4300K H1 HID, so that should make the light much better and clearer. Okay, here are some photos of the low beam. So that's the low beam spread that's there. It's very bright and very nice, as you can see. I unfortunately didn't take any videos of it. This is the low beam against the wall. The wall is about 5 meters in front of me.
Hey guys, thank you for watching my vlog. If you're not subscribed yet, bang, click on the subscribe button, it's right there. If you want to watch the last two videos that I've uploaded, I put them up here and here. And of course, my favorite playlist, the Superbike Weekend, it's right up here. You can check that out. Don't forget to smash the like button on the way out.